Libra, how you doing? How's your week been? Have you been networking? Have you been meeting people? Have you been making connections? I hope so, because the solstice seems to have been a really good time for you. Not necessarily the calmest of times, to be honest, but certainly productive and a bit of an eye opener and helping you sort of change or get sort of new ideas on the way and new connections going on. I did a reading on the solstice, which is down, you'll find at the end of this video, at the end of this reading. And it's amazing the difference between the cards that we've been having this week and the cards we've been having last week, according to the solstice. Really changed things. I did something on Cymatic TV. You might want to go down into the links in the description below and you'll find that there as well. Just a quick, just for those who are not part of the Astroflower family already, it's very simple. This here is your relationship, emotional side and your energy side. This here is your money side, your business, your projects, your job. This is the overall energy running through you. These are the two karmic messages or lessons this week for respective sides. And this is the outcome and the feeder into next week, as it were. Okay? So let's just, if you want to be part of the Astroflower family, it's very simple. You just need to subscribe and click that bell. It would be most appreciated, the support that you give this channel. Okay, so let's just see what's going on here. Ooh, it's definitely a change from last week. Definitely a change from last week. Things probably going to calm down a little bit around you on the here and now, so it's a little bit easier to deal with stuff. But there's already that's a really big wave coming in, a big wave of energy coming back up through you. You are moving into your autumn period, so you may find that it's a little bit intermittent sometimes, and there's a little bit of tiredness and stuff like that. That's all to do with the Astroflower rhythms and the rhythms of the earth, the rhythms of energy. And this month here, going right through to the season of Leo, I would really appreciate it like we appreciate an Indian summer, you know, like September, October time in the Northern Hemisphere, and sort of March, April in the Southern Hemisphere. But yeah, it's appreciating that, and that's actually, you know, you're coming down this wave. You're still going to be busy, and you're still going to be doing it, but just be wary that there is another wave coming from behind you, you know, and it's be good, might probably be a better wave to catch. So let's just see what the overall energy is. Sorry about this, I just have to make sure my things are recording. I do apologize. Let's go see what's happening on the overall energy going through you. Take stock or get your coordinates. So it's a bit like sort of like if you imagine if you're running through a forest and you're literally running around all over the place, and you're going to lose where your north and south and everything like that. There is particular ways to find your north and south in a forest. Very simple to do according to the moss and stuff like that. Gives you an idea anyway. Of which direction you're in. That's just a sort of Bear Grylls sort of like tip. But it's here where you sort of find your orientation. This seems to be this week. Last week was like spontaneity and everything like that, and that's that whole running around. And now you've been activating a lot of things, hopefully. Well, not hopefully, because hope is not a good thing. Leave it in the box with Pandora, okay? I would like you to have initiated a lot of things, bit of networking, because it's going to provide a lot of activity for you going through summer, which is your autumn. I know it's the summer of the Northern Hemisphere, but it's your autumn yourself, going through that period there. So it's going to allow you to be a little bit preoccupied. So you're not gonna notice it so much. Okay, so I think this is a case here. The overall energy is finding your orientation. Let's see what's going on with the relationship side here. So instigating last week, as I said, sort of networking, and this networking now will start already producing certain fruits. And it fruits in a way that you're going to find certain relationships within your family, your friends, your community, and within your partner as well. New ways of being with them. And it might well be actually with new friends and new members of family. Connecting with new people, and that nurturing thing of what you've done of networking is actually going to start already opening doors for you. So yeah, that's what it seems to be. Get ready to enjoy yourself in a very wholesome way. You know, it's not necessarily doing lots of different activities. It's just enjoying being with other people around you. Because you do like being around other people, but you like your own space. That's the contradiction within Libra. That's that whole balancing thing. They love living with other people, but they just need their own space. You know, it's a bit like trying to put a square peg in a round hole. You know, just got to make sure the round hole is big enough to take the square peg. That's all. And then you can get there. But anyway, let's get back to this. Let's see how the universe is trying to influence that karmic path. This is building already. Now you know how to do it. Now you know how to just connect with people, because you're really good networkers, really, once you get your head around it. And once you start doing those, once you realize that, I think you're actually really going to enjoy it. And because it's going to bring you benefits as well on the relationship side. It's going to make you a lot more happier, because you're going to fill your life up with people who correspond to you. Okay, so universe may be actually bringing in a lot of old friends back into your life just because you've networked. And it could be local networking. It doesn't have to be major networking. It could be literally just sort of seeing people you haven't seen for a long time in your village, which will then provoke onto another person that you haven't seen for ages and everything like that. Or your area, or your place in the city, you know. Let's just see how. So that sort of seems to be. It's bringing a lot of people out towards you. Very, very nice, I think. Let's have a look how the guides are trying to influence that karmic path. Steady emotions. They're trying to provide here where you to relieve your anxiety, to all of that sort of thing, with physical activity. Okay, Queen of Swords, innit? Really, that's Libra all over. That is where your emotions are calm, and you know she's got her heart in there. She's got her emotions under control. The wind is blowing at her back. She knows where she's going. It's going to make you feel really great and really empowered. That's what your guides are trying to help you to do here. Okay, let's see how the guides are trying to influence the conversation that is within you. This is more coming from the here, from the here and now. So they're kind of, you know, they Gemini had this as well, actually, an aspect of curiosity, but they had it more on the financial side. But you have it on the emotional sort of side. And this is where your guides are going to try and they're going to provoke that curiosity, and that curiosity is kind of going, oh, I wonder, you know, my cousin there. I haven't spoken to my cousin there for a long time. What are they up to? Oh, they're doing that, are they? Oh, that's really interesting. Wow. Do you know what? I was doing something similar to that. And that's how it's going to provoke it. You guys are just going to sort of kind of go, what about that? Do you remember that sort of scenario? Yeah, you may. It's to avoid future disappointments. This is what's going on here. Your curiosity is going to avoid future disappointments, because you're going to surround yourself, as I said, on the relationship side, I think you're going to surround yourself with people that you consider to be in tune with you and on the same page. And it's going to be beautiful and you're going to really enjoy it. And there's no complications on that side whatsoever. There's a real harvesting of fruits of like at the end of the summer. It's absolutely beautiful for you. Really nice. Let's go over to the financial side and see what's going on here. This is also you, Justice. You know, Justice and the Queen of Swords is pretty much Libra. Yeah. And so on the financial sort of side, it's encouraging you to find a harmonious way of working. So not working like a blue fly, but, you know, working and earning the money rather than just working and doing an extra 15 hours and not really earning the money. Doing way much more than you should be doing. You know, running around all over the place for your job or for your business, but there's no benefits at the moment. So maybe it's a good idea to just kind of go pause. And I think that ties into that Seven of Wands really as well. Protecting yourself so you don't get burnt out. You know, that's why that preoccupation I said was sort of like coming in for you. Let's see how the universe is trying to guide, it will influence that sort of karmic path. It's accumulating, stocking. So it's like the universe is providing you with enough seed, not only to make bread, but also, obviously also to plant in your fields for the following year. And the universe is making you aware of that, so you can feel that balance and security within you. Yeah. Work well done with other people. Okay. I'm just looking at that because I was wondering about that. Because I'll go into what the cards are according to the solstice at the end of this reading, and it's playing so true to form at the moment with your cards as well. And every single sign. You're the last one I'm doing today, Libra, or the last one I'm doing for the weeks, and that every single sign has had it. Every single sign has had this situation going on. So basically, the universe is actually making you that harmony and balance you're going to feel because you're working with other people, and it's going to provide security for you, you know, and that sensation of harmony within you. Let's just see how the guides are trying to influence that karmic path. Let it roll. Let it roll. It's as if like you've been cycling, you know, on a road, and there's a slight inclination of the road. So you don't really notice it. You're going uphill, and you've been going uphill, but it hasn't really affected you. You didn't really notice it that much. And you're coming to a point there where it kind of, and the guys are kind of going, and just let it roll. That's what they sort of saying there. So, yeah, okay, so you can take it this way. They're sort of saying let it roll, and the guides are dealing with any confrontations before it actually gets to you. So your guides are there sort of like kind of going, right, I'll deal with that, that's going to cause problems, I'll deal with that before it even gets to Libra. So they're really, you know, allowing you that space to be your higher self. And I think this ties into that Seven of Wands, which is opposite there. It's still playing true to all of this. This is amazing. I think this is, the Five of Wands here is playing into this here, because the overall energy is almost pushing it back as if to sort of say, Libra doesn't need that. Libra needs harmony and calm and stability. Look at these, look at that. You've got the Seven of Wands, Queen of Swords, which is also, she's very calm, although she's moving. Justice, which is really the Three of Pentacles. They're all calm things, and this is your guide here. I don't think you're going to get conflict within you. I think it's more a case of your guides are going to be dealing with all those conflicts, and probably a good idea to thank them, and so you can enjoy that space to be your better self, the best example of who you can be. Let's see how that guides trying to influence that sort of influence that sort of conversation that is within you. This is playing, this here is helping. So this guide here is almost like a lone ranger. It's doing a lot of work of protecting you. It's really, really nice. And if that guide is protecting you, it's going to expect you to do the work in order to build up that security for the going forward. So this guide here is sort of saying, will we need this in the future? Better keep that to one side. So within your job, it's sort of like you'll learn something within your job and you're kind of going, I may not be able to use that today, but that's certainly something I could use in the future. And that would help you progress your career path. In your business is a similar sort of thing, sort of seeing a product and sort of saying, yeah, it could be a good product to sell. I do have another product that is a complementary product to that other product. So if I push that, once that starts selling, I can bring that on in. It's pre-planning basically. Yeah, gradually accumulating the things. You know, this is what it's sort of saying here. This is not a bad card, people. You know, yeah, it can be. If you're just reading straight off of cards, you just say, okay, you're carrying too much. But this, at the Astroflower, we don't read cards like that. We use cards as a guides rather than the actual message, okay? And this here is sort of saying to you, start accumulating. That's what you need to do. Look in autumn. In autumn, what happens? Bears accumulate fish. When the fish go up, salmon go up the rivers to spawn. They eat the fish in the summer and everything like that, and they accumulate their weight. And then by autumn, they're loaded. And this is what it's saying here. It's sort of saying, get some good things going on that you can stock and you'll be able to use later on, rather than having to deal with it now. Taking a bit more space and time for you within your financial wealth. Let's see what the overall outcome is here. Because you're moving into autumn, that's why I was talking about the bears and stuff like that. Yeah. That's really nice. Loving it. And it's not just loving life, basically. That's what it seems to be like. And it's what it's leading into is that, as I said, that downhill section where you don't have to pedal, and you can now just let the bicycle roll. It's a slow, steady sort of decline, as it were. Not a decline of you, but just sort of like the universe is actually helping you. And I think this is this wave that is building up, because at some point you're going to hit the flats and you're going to have to put the work in at the end of autumn according to what you should have been doing over the last year. That's what autumn is all about for us. It's 3 months before our birthdays. In that period, 2 months before our birthdays, we look at what we've been doing physically over the last year and what we want to do in the coming year physically, where we want to live, what activities, what we want to job, what activities we want to do, what job we want to do. And then in the last month, it's all to do with the emotional side, energy side. What sort of experience do I want to do? That sort of thing in the last month. And I think here is just loving it and enjoying life. Yeah. So the guiding thing on that card there is sort of, don't get involved in things that are going to cause you a headache. Just walk straight away from them. And I think this is it's gonna be provoked by this relationship side, because on this relationship side, that's provoking that. That's pushing out those people around you that cause you headache. And on the financial side, you're creating your security and your harmony by stocking things for future use. And you're gonna avoid disappointment, and you're gonna avoid future headaches. Because simply you're gonna surround yourself with people, those wands are holding up that person, and there's 6 wands holding them up, and that's the victory of life, and that's what it's all about. There is one wand trying to pop your bubble, but then it has to be popped eventually, because you've got to get on and do other stuff. But at the moment, it's a case of building up that security within inside you and feeling at one with life around you. So there you go, Libra. As I say, if I was you, go and have a look at that solstice reading and the solstice energy update on Cymatic TV, which will be linked at the end of this video, at the end captions, as it were. There's loads of other links to discover about the Astroflower in the description below. If you want to be part of the Astroflower family, it's very simple. It's be beautiful to have your support and to show your support just by subscribing and clicking that bell. That's a beautiful way to help us and support this channel. And obviously then you can share, like, drop in comments. If you do have any comments about this reading, please put them down, because we're all learning together, and without you, we as a collective can't exist. So everybody has their place. Hang on a second. I forgot to explain about the cards, didn't I? Sorry about that. All the cards, normally I get in readings, I get cards that repeat themselves from week to week. And there's a flow that goes through the flower. And since the solstice, that has just come to an end. You did not have one card. Oh no, you did. You had one card. And everyone seems to have had at least one card. And the one card was the Three of Pentacles. And that Three of Pentacles could well be the defining thing between before and post solstice. And the solstice was around about just allowing your love to flow out. A little bit like the Queen of Cups, which you had in this position here last year. I will be doing the monthlies next week for July. So, you know, once you've subscribed here, you'll be able to get that once you click the bell. In the meantime, life should be fun. So this time it is for real. Please do enjoy.